What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a WWE name goes off on Matt Riddle, Cody Rhodes will be returning for WrestlePalooza, AJ Styles' son is unhappy with Triple H, a released WWE star steps away from wrestling, Nikki Bella addresses false rumors, indie wrestler Jaka passes away after his final ever match, a former champion never returning to WWE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first story looks at a WWE name goes off on Matt Riddle. And Matt Riddle's comments directed towards AJ Lee and CM Punk have caused significant controversy. Now WWE correspondent Peter Rosenberg has decided to clap back at the former WWE star. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Rosenberg claimed that Riddle carried himself like a jackass and he urged him to shut up. Matt Riddle carried himself like a jackass, made a bunch of mistakes, made a bunch of enemies, and now he still carries himself like a jackass, saying completely inappropriate things, disrespectful things about AJ Lee. It's just shut up, bro. Rosenberg would also criticize the comparisons between Riddle and RVD. You're a talented guy, referring to Matt Riddle. There's some appeal there, again, not my guy. People tried to give him the RVD treatment, but he wasn't RVD, because A, I don't think he was the actual chill, laid-back stoner that RVD was, and he certainly was not the pro wrestler RVD is. It wasn't just Riddle that Rosenberg took issue with, he also took aim at Ronda Rousey, specifically for Rousey's negative comments regarding working with Alexa Bliss. This is a business that gave you a lot of money, a lot of fame, and you did quite well doing it. I just don't know who she thinks she is. You're not an all-time great in wrestling, you just don't have the sense to not say things about people like Bliss. It's incredibly disrespectful. Rosenberg is sometimes criticized for always having WWE's back, no matter the circumstances, but Riddle's comments definitely went too far, and Rousey's negative stance on Alexa Bliss was just totally uncalled for. Next up, a released WWE star stepping away from wrestling. Dakota Kai was truly a standout performer in WWE. Whilst he looked like a career would boost tenfold on the main roster, re-signing and returning alongside Bayley and Io Sky in Damage Control, sadly numerous injuries forced her to be sidelined, and she would be amongst the various WWE talent releases on 2nd May 2025, ending a 3-year tenure with the company at the time. Now, it was assumed after the release that Kai would continue her wrestling career on the independent scene, however she has yet to wrestle a single match. Kai recently offered an update on her future in wrestling, as during a Twitch stream Kai expressed heartfelt gratitude for the overwhelming support she's received from fans, peers and mentors. She admits she misses wrestling and is looking forward to returning to the ring, though she does need some breathing space.
I miss wrestling, you guys. We gotta get back into it. It's just one of those things where it's been nice to have a little bit of a break. I've been doing it for a long time, longer than the last 7 years I was with WWE. You know what I mean? So it is nice to take a step back and do it, but I really do miss it.
Our final WWE match was on Main Event earlier this year, and we really hope this isn't the end of a promising career. Next up, Nikki Bella ends the rumors. Now, there's been a wild rumor that's making the rounds that Nikki Bella is only dating 20-year-olds. However, Nikki Bella put these rumors to bed on her podcast, mentioning, "There's another lie going around that I'm only into 20-year-olds. So when I was looking through DMs, I did see there were a bunch of guys saying like, sucks that you're only now into your 20-year-olds. And I go, where's this coming from? To see other people in my DMs confirm it like, hey, thought I had a chance, but I guess you're only into people in their 20s. I'm like, what the? I'm like, this is crazy. And we're glad that Nikki put those rumors to bed, and I'm sure there's a number of 50-year-olds sliding through her DMs right now. Next up, does a WWE champion want to turn heel? Tiffany Stratton's babyface character has received mixed reviews from fans. While Stratton is insanely over with the audience, her heel persona was truly where she shined, and some have stated that they would prefer Stratton to revert back to the heel character that she debuted back in NXT. Stratton herself has addressed her babyface persona, and during an interview with the No Context Wrestling podcast, Stratton confirmed that it's way easier being a heel.
I think being a heel is 10 times easier than being a babyface because you can mess up and you can fall on your butt and, that's totally fine as a heel. However, as a babyface, if you do that, the crowd could turn on you or you could get booed and, you're supposed to be the face of the company and stuff like that.
Stratton would then add that she's still learning the ropes of being a babyface and maybe one day she'll revert back to her heel character.
being a heel for me is how I learned wrestling. I feel like I was a heel right off the bat. So that's why it comes so easy to me. And, I'm still learning to like be a babyface and be likable and not have so much stank on what I say in my promos. So, so it definitely comes more natural for me to be a heel. However, bear with me. We're learning. Maybe one day I'll just go back to being a heel. But for now, we're a little old babyface Tiffy.
Tiffany Stratton is in the midst of a 248-day reign as Women's Champion, and she's essentially the face of the women's division over on SmackDown. Would you guys like to see her turn heel though? Next up, a WWE tag team splitting. Now at Clash in Paris, WWE decided to tease a breakup between Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, collectively known as the Street Profits. This was the first time, on screen at least, that a breakup had been explored, and BFAB had taken to Instagram to further the storyline. BFAB would state that she thought the team were focused on the tag titles, and she appeared to show confusion at the conflict between the two. Now, whilst fans have been pushing for WWE to give Montez Ford a singles run for some time, there's concern that it's a little too late. The perfect opportunity for this was a number of years ago when Ford held his own in a singles match with Roman Reigns, but in 2025, there's a stacked roster, and both Ford and Dawkins may get lost in the shuffle as singles stars. If WWE had a clear creative vision for both wrestlers, then they should explore the breakup and potentially allow both men to go their separate ways. However, if WWE are breaking up the popular team for the sake of it, it's a complete waste of time. We've seen time and time again in WWE that breaking up a tag team with no creative plan in place does not work. So if WWE doesn't have a plan in place, the tension should be used to make the team stronger as a collective unit. Since Triple H took over WWE Creative, his track record of booking the breakup of tag teams hasn't been the best. The disbanding of the Usos was atrociously handled, and Biggie being kicked out of the New Day had a fantastic build and delivery, yet the follow-up left a lot to be desired. Hopefully, if the game is indeed planning on breaking up the former tag team champions, he's learned from his prior mistakes. Next up, sad news as indie wrestler Jaka passes away after his final match. Now, unfortunately, it's sad news as Jonathan Jaka Echeverria, a beloved wrestler on the independent circuit, has tragically passed away at only age 39 following a heart attack. His sister Annette Riviera launched a GoFundMe campaign to help cover his medical bills as Jaka was admitted into critical care. By many accounts, a beloved figure backstage, he earned recognition across numerous promotions including Beyond Wrestling, where he starred as part of Team Pazuzu with Mike Santana and Ortiz, as well as Evolve, Chikara, CZW and Progress Wrestling, as well as many others across the states. His passing would be confirmed by Beyond Wrestling as the original ace and prompted heartfelt condolences from various colleagues. Tragically, his passing occurred only days after his final in-ring match at Boca Raton Championship Wrestling on August 31st. We'd like to offer our condolences to Jonathan Echeverria's family and friends. Next up, a WWE title match set. It was reported last week that a potential WWE title match was up in the air for WrestlePalooza. WWE initially wanted Cody Rhodes vs Drew McIntyre for the show, however with Rhodes filming a movie, he's been off television and it wasn't clear if he would be able to return in time for the show. And a new update in relation to this, it's now been reported by Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio that Rhodes will be back for WrestlePalooza, and Rhodes vs McIntyre for the WWE title will be on the card. Cody Rhodes is scheduled now for WrestlePalooza against Drew McIntyre for the championship. The Orton match was going to take place first, but they didn't know if they would do it on a pay-per-view. I know the Cody thing was up in the air. I presume it was because they didn't know for a fact that he would be done filming for Street Fighter by the 20th. That's what I was told in the middle of the week. If he's back, he'll be on the card, and if he's not, it's going to be Orton and Drew. But yeah, it's Cody and Drew. This is positive news, as two PLEs back-to-back without the WWE Champion would have been extremely disappointing. There have been a lot of question marks surrounding WWE's recent booking, as having John Cena drop the title to Rhodes, only for Rhodes to then take an extended leave of absence, didn't make too much sense. However, with Rhodes expected to be back on TV as soon as this Friday, he should be back to being a full-time WWE talent. WWE are truly stacking the WrestlePalooza card as the WWE title match joins Brock Lesnar vs John Cena, Stephanie Vaquer vs Io Sky, and finally AJ Lee and CM Punk vs Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Next up, AJ Styles' son is unhappy with Triple H. AJ Styles' booking has certainly been one of the most contested topics amongst fans recently. With AJ losing in France last week, a lot of fans are now sharing the consensus that Triple H is failing to use him effectively. It's not just WWE fans who think this, as AJ's own son revealed via an Instagram comment that his father's booking is starting to grate on him. It's been reported that AJ is set to continue his feud with Dominic Mysterio, and hopefully this leads to AJ finally recapturing the Intercontinental title. Next up, a WWE star turning face. It appears that WWE could be positioning El Grande Americano as a babyface, in Mexico at least. Last night at the AAA show, Americano worked as a babyface and even wore gear that represented the Mexican flag. Americano would also sing to the live crowd, and as expected, the fans loved every second of it. It was reported last week that Ludwig Kaiser's work with the character has received positive reviews in WWE, and Kaiser delivering the character both as a heel and a babyface, depending on the country he's wrestling in, would be a very unique way to present the character moving forward. It's definitely a playbook out of Bret Hart's booking. And finally, a former champion never returning to WWE. Our final story today takes a look at a new interview from Ronda Rousey, who's confirmed that she has no plans whatsoever to return to WWE. Speaking to Yahoo Uncrowned, the former WWE Women's Champion stated that due to the company releasing all her friends, she has no reason to return. It was a lot of needless anxiety and things like that, and the whole company was just a chaotic shit show on the inside, and then they ended up dropping all my friends, so I really have no reason to go back. I wanted to do a run with the 4 Horsewomen, and I never got to do that, and now I feel like I've already accomplished everything that I wanted to in WWE, and all that's really left for me is to go there and have fun with my friends, and none of my friends are there anymore. Rousey has participated in a number of interviews, and to say that she hated her time in WWE would be an understatement. Rousey really has nothing positive to say about her experience in the company, and it's likely that Rousey doesn't even have any interest in returning even in a cameo in the future Royal Rumble for one-off appearances. Rousey had 2 distinct runs in WWE, and whilst the first run took everyone by surprise, the second run absolutely sucked. Rousey was accused of phoning it in during a second run, and it felt like the initial magic of her working in WWE was just lost. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.